Okay, so yeah, so this is kind of our bonus content from our YouTube live event. So I'll just kind of ask some of the questions that have come up. So Bella had asked, what's your favorite kind of math?
Thank you so much. To me, mathematics, I use mathematics to solve real life problems because I'm mostly passionate about solving problems in real life. And so when it comes to favorite part of mathematics, I do not say I have this favorite part. What I look at is how do I use that to solve a problem? And then I put myself into using that to solve a problem. What drives me is the passion to solve a problem. And then I try to use every tool and do my best to acquire any tool if I need an expert to help me into solving that problem. So that's what I do.
Excellent. And you,
Me.
so you'd made note about kind of the fourth industrial revolution and that, and Mrs. Campagna's grade 7 class is actually very concerned about robots and AI and them taking over the world and taking over jobs. And do you think this would happen? And what can we do about it? How can we be involved in this new revolution?
Thank you. I like the word, how can we be involved? So meaning that robots are to be programmed by us. Robots are not to take down the job, but we are to take over the jobs. People with quantitative skills, and that's happening now. The US Bureau of Statistics shows that people with quantitative skills jobs are growing by 33% and earning a huge amount of money, about $150,000 Canadian dollars. So how can we get involved? We can get involved by realizing that the little skills we learn in middle and high school is what these people are using to program these robots to get these jobs. Now, if we shy away and talk about robots taking a job, then we're missing the point because we are the one taking the jobs. Is it good? Yeah, it's good that we are going to take jobs. We are going to have more jobs. A lot of jobs are being created for people with quantitative skills. It's sad that a lot of people may not have the quantitative skills, and this way is really bad. But we have to preach the gospel, and that's why the Ask a Mathematician program is doing, to indicate that these jobs will be moving to people with quantitative skills, and that you don't need any magical experience to get these jobs. With your little, middle, and high school mathematics, you will be the one driving these jobs. And so, yeah, there are jobs created. Yeah, we are taking it. The robot is not taking over the world. We are taking over the world, people with quantitative skills.
Excellent. That makes me feel a little bit better. Mr. Brooks' grade 9 class wants to know, where do you get the data for making your predictions?
Thank you so much. Each scientist, before you try something, if you look at the spring math system that we had, in the black box, you want to try something, you put in the force, you see the distance. You don't know what is happening. You are recording that. You put in one force, you put in a force of 1 Newton, you see the distance. 10, you see the distance. 20, you see the distance. And then you use that to make generalization. So where do I get in the data? Depending on the system, we talk about a system and questions about the system. Depending on the system in question, when you ask a question, some of those systems may already have existing data in the literature, what others have done in the past. And that's why in the system analysis phase of modeling, you look at what has been done in the past. You discuss with people from different areas. If there is already data, then you just use that. If not, then you plan to collect the data based on your simplified system. So there are many ways by which we get data. We can perform the experiment ourselves to generalize it, or we look at the data that exists in the literature that others have collected. So that's what we do. That's how we get the data.
Excellent. Also from Mr. Brooks' grade 9 class, and this is more of a personal question. Do you use math to make your hip hop beats?
Obviously, I use mathematics a lot in my math. So I use math in everything I do. Going to get right, I use mathematics. Making my hip hop beats, I use mathematics to model that. In every little thing I do, frequency of this, the frequency, the pitch of my music, the frequency, I use my mathematical model to do that. So in every little thing I do, I try to model it. It's fun because I model it and I look at the optimal one to get, and I always get the best. Once you use your little algebra and calculus skills from middle school, not even high school, the skills I use are from middle school, and I apply that to solve my real life problems to get my life going the right way.
Excellent. Also on a similar thread, and this is from the same class as well. They also want to know about your basketball predictions. How accurate are they? Do they actually work? How accurate are your basketball predictions?
98% accurate. 98% accurate. All my predictions have always been 98% accurate. So they always work. And this is the thing I want to say. So long as you have data, models never fail. If you simplify it and you train it very well and you're able to use data from the past to inform your model, believe me, your predictions will always be somehow accurate, so long as you have tested it. So my predictions, because I've been doing this over the years, I've trained my model to perform really well. And my predictions are always accurate. If you want to know, if you're getting to bet, if you're going to Las Vegas to get the lottery, don't do that though. But if you want to do that, get to me and we'll model that. But don't do that though. You could win. We'll not do that.
I think part of the question was also, can you make money off of it? So, but we're not going to promote gambling.
You want to go to Las Vegas? Yes. Basically, talk about making money, and yes, I know we will not promote gambling, but we'll promote investment. And believe me or not, once you become versed with modeling, you look at your stock market, you can't be able to use the trend in the past. People say you cannot predict the stock market because it's very stochastic. Yes, but you can have an indication as to, based on the history, as to where you can project your stocks. Believe me, even now that the market is bad, with the modeling that I have, I'm performing really well in the market. I'm not below zero in my stocks because I've spent a lot of time. I've written my own code based on the history. I'm doing well. So you can make money with your modeling. I'm using that in the stock market now to make a lot of money. Not make a lot of money, but make money because I'm not losing. A lot of people are crying right now that they're losing, but I didn't just go and invest in things based on what somebody's telling me. I use my little algebra and calculus skills, and I formulate my own model to make predictions. I don't gamble, but I do it for fun in the sense that I sit and I write about the sport code to be able to know which team is going to do well for my own sake. And then I know the season before it starts and I laugh over it and I'm happy about it. And it gives me a lot of happiness. So money is not just going to Las Vegas and gambling. Just the joy that you get, that satisfaction that you get is equally making money. Just the happiness that you get. People pay to have that happiness, but you get it by just doing your modeling. So I get rich from that. Even though I still make money the other side, but I get rich by doing that.
Perfect. I like that. Okay, so I think the last question that we had here was, it's actually two classes had similar questions. Ms. Ferrer's grade 6 gifted class and Ms. Sarah's grade 7 class. They want to know, did anybody inspire you to become a mathematician? Was there anything that a person, a teacher, kind of a professional or someone who kind of inspired you into mathematics?
Thank you. I'm more about family oriented, and I realized that everything in my life is driven by family, by community. I was inspired by the community to become a mathematician. What do I mean by this? The teachers in my community that were giving us work to go and practice at home, my parents would not have created mathematics homework to give me to practice because my parents did not do that. My parents were not educated. I'm the first in my family to go to university. Even go to secondary and high school, I'm the first in my family. So my parents would not have thought of that. But the teachers that were giving us those exercises to practice, that led me to move to the passion of just wanting to explain to my friends and see them happy, led me to become a mathematician. So if you ask me who actually put me in the position where I find myself right now, I'll say the entire community, starting from the teachers that gave the assignment to my friends that we could discuss together on their exercises. And I could see them happy when I try to explain things with them that push me to wanting to walk behind the scene and understand it on my own so that I can explain to them. And then I see them happy. And that led me there into the persons that decided to host me when I was taking the national exam for teachers to go to community college, later on before I went to university and do mathematics and computer science. So it's not just one person, but the entire community. But the happiness, what I would say is, if you ask me for one thing that led me to become a mathematician, is just seeing my friends happy. That was very important. But this would not have happened if the teacher did not give homework, if my friends were not open to us working together. And if I did not grow from there to move to other areas and other people welcoming me to explain things to their own children, that led me to where I find myself. So it was a community effort.
Wonderful. I think that's a great answer. And actually, there's one more here. And there's a couple of it. You're very passionate about math, and you seem to have a lot of fun with math. What do you find fun about math?
Solving a real life problem, being able to use things that I learned when I was a kid. Imagine, I started learning these tools when I was 6, 7, kindergarten, middle school, from 3 to 6, 7, and all whatnot. And the fun that I'm able to use this to solve problems in my community and save lives makes me really passionate. It keeps me going. That is what keeps me going every day. I'm able to use the little tools that I learned when I was still even little kid to solve problems in my community, to inform policies, the calculus, the algebra. So I find that really fun, and to me, keeps me going, saving lives, helping people in my community.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking some time for a little bit of bonus content and answering some of the student questions. It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you so much.